You're at Tunes 92.5, streaming live on the web, tunes925live.com. I am Johnny Keegan, and our special guest, the Hot Rod, Roddy Piper, hanging out with us for the hour. Everywhere I turn nowadays, you're on television. You are everywhere. Listen, Barry Weiss is on Storage Hunters, Storage Wars. Yeah. I got a friend I'm going to call about these bagpipes, and all of a sudden you come in. Are you friends with Barry Weiss?
I am now.
Okay.
Let me tell you, Barry Weiss come up in his car, and I'm standing in the parking lot. This is the PG-12 part.
Thank you.
All right. And so he's still in his car, and he's telling me, hey, I've been a big fan, and he hands me 2 chestnuts. And thank you, I guess. And, and he says, throw one on the ground. Okay. Says, step on it. Okay. I stepped on it. Inside was a condom. I have no idea how he got it in there. 2 fine-looking chestnuts, and that was my introduction to Barry. And we hit it off from there on.
And you had to appraise some Scottish gear, bagpipes? Or?
Yeah, I came 5th in the world playing the bagpipes when I was 14 years old. I played with a band called Cabernet, and it was the first time the World Championships were held out of Scotland, the Seeney Gardens in Toronto. And, the bagpipes is a war instrument. It's one of the most regal instruments you can play. Second hardest instrument in the world to learn. But
What's the first?
A sitar.
Okay.
Yeah, anybody, India, Gandhi, Ronald Reagan, anybody, at the funeral, bagpipes are played.
Mm-hmm.
When you play the bagpipes, the tunes that you learn are like flank left, flank right, charge, retreat, etc. And then, of course, there's, just folk song kind of thing. The kilt, when you look at the kilt and the plaid on the kilt, that tells the family story. Because years ago, you didn't know who anybody was, and when they came up, you knew if he was an enemy, if he's Highlander, Lowlander, and I can read it. So it's just something you had to learn while playing the bagpipes. So he had me come in playing the bagpipes and explain this. It's really, I know it's annoying when you're learning. Do you love the bagpipes?
Love them.
The one thing that, in the war aspect of them, the 3 sticks that are called, they're 3 drones, 1 bass and 2 tenor. And the idea was over long spaces, long areas geographically, the enemy would hear this. And then, and it would scare them to death because these guys would take their clothes off, paint themselves half blue. I painted myself half black one time, but that's another story. And would come into battle, berserkers, and just came in there to die. So over the generations, I was asked on that show because of what I know about it, and they were very nice to me. They were good guys.
Celebrity wife swap just a couple weeks ago.
Baby,
switching wives and girlfriends with Ric Flair.
Really? It's like my wife's with Ric Flair.
Yeah. Would you feel better if she was with Hillbilly Jim?
Well, my wife, Kitty, who I love, I've been married 30 years to her.
You can just see that on the show, the love you guys have for each other.
And
your family.
I got 4 of the most beautiful, in my opinion, the most beautiful children in the world. I have 3 girls and 4 girls, and you're adopted, by the way.
Which we're going to meet your son here in just a sec.
And
can't wait to talk to him.
The celebrity wife swap, I knew one thing, that she's with Flair, she'd be taken care of. So there was that, but I didn't know she'd break Flair in 4 days, putting a hoodie on him and a mustache. And some people were saying, that was all scripted. There was nothing scripted. We were just so used to doing it,
That is Ric Flair going out and buying everybody drinks and showcasing each and every night. That's him.
That's him,
wow.
Man. He, limousine,
jet
flying son of a gun. And Ric Flair I've been in the business a little longer than Flair. But when I got blackballed, the second time, I think it was, he had me come over to Santo Domingo, third world countries where I could work. And then they finally unblackballed me. And, so I love him with all my heart. And it's a really tough business, the business I'm in. And Flair is such, he's immaculate. He represents my sport to the maximum 24/7. And it takes that kind of dedication back in the day to be a professional wrestler. The reason why is in the Gorgeous George era, they were, they had some people in there and started doing dirty business, and the industry of professional wrestling collapsed. Well, come about 69, I got in it. 69, 70, you needed to be that guy 24/7. You couldn't be Roddy Piper with a kilt and beating people up and then, have a monk outfit shopping at the 7-Eleven for a Slurpee. It just didn't work. They needed to see, and I 24/7. Well, and the guy is just really me, just a little different. I just let it go a little bit. But that's what was needed to bring wrestling to the point that it could hook on right now as it did to the first WrestleMania.
So wait, you're Rowdy Piper.
Yeah.
You're two different You're Roderick Toombs.
It gets blurry. Mm-hmm. Really does.
So you're not grocery shopping and say, just when you have all the questions, I have all the answers when you're giving your coupons?
I'm always hacking around, but when I'm with my family, there's no violence. I hate bullies. I hate violence inside in homes. But for me, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you real quick. I was 15 when I started. When I was about 19 years old, I got a call from New York to come and perform there, which is unheard of. 19, become a main eventer in Madison Square Garden. When I got there, I was on a TV out of L.A. It was a Spanish TV, and so they were very aware of me. Captain Lou Albano comes up to me, and he pinches my cheek, and he goes, "Hey, Paisan," he says, "we've been watching you." Slaps me in the head, and, "Hey, we don't want you, you're too good," and he just hugs me. It was, tough love. And I was going about 180 pounds at that time. There was some little guys around, like Andre the Giant, Tony Atlas, Bruno Sammartino. So, Freddie Blassie comes up to me. You pence on that geek. He's got a cane, and he hits me in the shin. It's just love. We don't want you here, kid. Instead of making me feel comfortable. I was on the third match, and what I used to do is tell everybody, please be quiet for the Scottish national anthem. Well, Madison Square Garden is just 24,000 Puerto Ricans with knives. When you break it down, and when you tell them to be quiet, that's, here they come. But I came fifth in the world. I'm pretty confident what I'm doing, and take about 4 minutes. Out of boredom, they just start shutting up, and that's no problem for me. And I go to blow my bagpipes up, and nothing comes out. And I'm checking the spark plugs, nothing comes out. And I dropped my bagpipes and went after the guy. I got back to the dressing room. I came in a limousine. They came to the dressing room and literally said, "Don't call us, we'll call you." And I left in a cab. And I didn't know what had happened. And then all of a sudden it dawns on me, my bagpipes. Why didn't you work? And where you put your fingers on bagpipes is called a chanter. When they said they didn't want me, they meant it. And Freddie Blassie stuck 6 feet of toilet paper up the bottom of my chanter so they wouldn't work. And it did two things. First thing it did was make me the laughing stock of the industry. It set me back. It took me about 10 years to get back to New York. But I got mean. I was being trained by a guy by that time named Judo Gene LaBelle. Toughest man in the world, not according to him. Trained Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris. He's given away about 22 black belts. He's 80 years old now. I love him. He's my dad. And it changed the route of my career where, that's when I started getting stabbed. I wouldn't back off. I didn't care if you shot me. I didn't care. I don't think you can. I don't think you just can say he's fearless. Roddy Piper just didn't care. He was going forward, and that stayed with me for 12 years maybe. Where I've been 30 some car crashes, went down airplane, stabbed 3 times. I don't know, cancer, back, right hips replaced in '94. 7 screws in my neck.
But you're so cordial now. You're so happy. I introduced, you met me, you gave me a hug. You've never met me. That's awesome.
Well, because you're awesome. All you people are. But back in that day, that's probably what helped in my success. They hurt my feelings so bad and humiliated me so bad that I swore it wouldn't happen again. But at the same time, a guy named like Gorilla Monsoon started saying, "What happened with that kid?" And when they found out what happened, they went, "No, dude, not cool. Who did that to that kid?" And so it took about a year and a half, 2 years, but it kind of endeared me to them. And then, I had to drive with them and listen to them for 6 hours a day, and while I opened their bottles of beer.
We're hanging out with Roddy Piper. We're going to meet your son here and talk a little bit more. I can't wait to meet Colt on the air.
Beautiful.
It is your Tunes 92.5. Roddy Piper doing a Piper's Pit tonight live for 2CW Wrestling in Watertown. Gates open at 6. I do believe the fights start about 7 o'clock. Yep. We'll be back with more Roddy Piper coming up. Your Tunes.
Yeah.